Hey everybody, it's nice and chilly over here in Indiana. Nice cold day. Sorry, I'm on a really squeaky chair. I thought I'd come outside and make my video. I guess it's been a couple weeks since my last one. I don't remember, maybe 3. It's been a really busy time. My son went to work in Texas and he's doing really well. My daughter's doing great. Despite the fact that her job is gone. She used to work at Borders. Everybody knows what happened to Borders. She's doing great. I'm really happy for her. Excuse me, my hair's tickling me. I wanted to make this video because a friend of mine is having a really tough time right now. Her name is Kat. And I started to type a bunch of stuff and decided it would be easier to just make a video. So bear with me. I might have to do 2 parts. I don't know. But I'm going to start now. I want to go back to right around the time I found out I had lupus. Now, I want to tell you, I think, let me turn around, I hope the sun's not messing this video up. I think I've had lupus all my life. I remember being sick a lot when I was little. 12 years old, I remember in particular things started to happen that doctors didn't really understand, couldn't explain to my parents what was going on. They were told I had allergies, or even when I was 16 or 15, they tried to tell my mom I had arthritis in my knees because my knees started hurting for no reason. Bear with me here, it's cold. Anyway, so I was kind of a sickly child, but I was still active despite the fact that I was a sickly child. I was a tomboy. I liked to climb trees and do all that fun stuff. So it made it kind of tough for me when I... Oh. Sorry! Let me see if I can hold this without gloves. Hold on. No, I don't think I can. I'm just going to have to try not to do that again. Sorry about that. So let me get to it. When I got older and I started to have more issues, I thought I was just depressed. Because I had no energy, I couldn't do anything. When I was in college, that was the worst because I really wanted to do stuff, and when I had energy, I was out there, I was running around on the track and doing all kinds of stuff. And then when the episodes would hit, hold on, did it pause? No, it didn't pause. I don't know what that beep was. Anyway, when the episodes of weakness would hit, I'd feel really down because I couldn't do anything, and that was just not me. I liked to be out moving and doing stuff, and I wasn't athletic, but I did move a lot. I liked to run around. My favorite thing to do was to go to the track at night and walk a mile or more. If I had friends, we would just get crazy and walk forever. So anyway, I had 2 kids when I was in college already, and then when we left that town, things got worse for me health-wise. That was in 1990, I think it was 96. Turned out I was pregnant with twins, and I was on bed rest for most of that pregnancy. It was a very difficult pregnancy, and that was the start to the worst health problems I ever had. After the girls were born, I had difficulty walking because my muscles, I guess, atrophied. I don't know if that's the right word, but I just couldn't walk around very far without a lot of pain. In fact, I had pain just walking from the bed to the bathroom, which was right across the room from me. It was, I had my bathroom in my room. My feet never recovered. I had a lot of heel pain. Turned out I had heel spurs, plantar fasciitis, which they can't really do a whole lot about. They gave me some insoles for my shoes, boots to wear at night in my bed. It was horrible. They looked like big Frankenstein boots, without the heels, of course, but real thick, heavy plastic boots. Let's see, what else? Then it turned out I had severe sleep apnea, so they put me on a CPAP machine. So I was tethered to my bed by a CPAP machine. I had big boots that came up to my knees to help my feet not hurt. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, I also had carpal tunnel syndrome in my wrist, so I had wrist braces on too. So I was a big mess and very miserable, and I cried a lot because I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't sleep. How can I sleep like that? I had a lot of things that were going on around that time that doctors couldn't explain. I thought I was having a stroke once. I had numbness down one side of my body, and it just kept getting worse and getting worse. And finally, I ended up in the hospital, and they told me there was nothing wrong with me, that they couldn't find anything. They sent me for nerve testing, which came back. Everything was fine according to their tests. Everything was fine. So what do they call that now? Neuropathy, I think is what they're calling it now. I guess nerve damage or something. I don't know. I never did get straight answers for what was going on, what caused it. During all this time, my whole body hurt. I had bad depression. I'm trying to think of everything. I couldn't sleep. I had insomnia. They put me on all kinds of medication. I was on, I don't remember how many. I just know that a gallon-sized baggie was filled to the top with bottles of pills. I was on a lot of pills for a lot of different things, which all these pills, they didn't really help. Pain pills never helped me, so I just had to deal with the pain. By this time I had babies to take care of, plus my older two kids, and I couldn't be zoned out all the time. Sadly, though, I did spend a lot of time in my bed. I laid down a lot because I couldn't function, I couldn't move. My kids had to come to my room to ask questions or come find me or just spend time with me. It was a miserable time. It really was. And I was so scared that they were never going to figure out what was wrong with me. Hold on a second. Let me check the time. 7 minutes. Okay. Anyway, this went on for a while. Oh, that's the volume. Okay. So this went on for a while. And I was miserable. I was very depressed. I went to counseling a lot. I really didn't have a good life. My life consisted of dragging myself out of bed in the morning to take my kids to school, to take care of my babies, and then I laid back down as soon as I could. And if I wasn't laying in my room, I was laying on the couch, and it was horrible, horrible time. Pain all over. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't read books anymore because I couldn't focus for very long. I'm still struggling a little bit with that. I am reading books again, but I went from reading lots of books to I couldn't even read a magazine article because I was so distracted and so I could not focus. They call it the Fibro fog or Lupus fog. I don't know what they call it, but it really literally felt like I was in a fog. I could not think. I couldn't grasp anything. I could read a paragraph and not know what I just read. So anyway, I met a person who introduced me to meditation and gave me the courage to find a new doctor, and told me that he felt strongly that they would finally figure out what was wrong. And he was right. I found a new doctor, and when I met him, my adrenal glands were shutting down. I was in stage 3. Yeah, right before the bad one where you end up dying. He figured out that my adrenal glands were almost shut down, and he knew that I didn't want to be on all the medications anymore. So instead of prescribing me new medications, he put me on alternative stuff, herbal stuff, and got me through that, got my adrenal glands healthy again. Did a lot of testing, some of which I'd already been through with the other doctor, but he didn't figure out what was wrong. This doctor figured out that I had lupus, and that actually, it didn't devastate me. It was a relief. It was a relief to find out what the heck was going on, because it made sense. Everything made sense at that point. Oh, I even forgot to tell you, I also was dealing with my eyes starting to bleed. Back in college, they discovered I had juvenile macular degeneration, and before I found out I had lupus, my eyes were acting like they were deteriorating, and then they started to bleed. Actually, they started to bleed not long after I found out I had lupus, which I'm convinced that it's not macular degeneration. I think it's just lupus attacking my eyes. And also just my attitude about things. You know, I would say I didn't want to see things, and so my eyes wouldn't want to see them. You know, I know it sounds crazy, but the universe is listening, and what you believe and what you say is going to happen. Um, I believe that strongly. It's happened in my life over and over and over again. And the same goes for my health. What I believe about my health is what I'm going to get more of. So if I think I'm not going to recover from this, I won't. And as long as I sat around and laid in my bed and just dwelled on how horrible I felt, nothing changed. It just got worse. So anyway, back to the gentleman I met who taught me about meditation and helped me to face my fears, basically, and to let them go. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to hear the sirens. It's 11 o'clock. They test the sirens on 11 o'clock on Fridays. Let's see. So you get to see my yard a little bit. Sorry. It's kind of messy, but that's okay. I'll try to talk over the sirens. So what did I do? I started to meditate, which surprisingly was very easy. I'm going to turn around. Oh, too bright. Can't do that. Let's get over here in front of my window. Okay. It was surprisingly easy. I had tried in the past to meditate, and it wasn't very easy back then. I would have thought it would have been harder because I was in such a bad place when I started, but it was actually a relief and very peaceful, and it was like my body and my spirit really, really wanted it. So it happened. I was able to go into deep meditations. At first it was, I could only do like 20-minute meditations. I'm gonna walk over here. Then it turned into 30 minutes, and oh gosh, I hope this video is not gonna be terrible. Then they turned into hour-long meditations. My arms are tired. So anyway, the combination of becoming quiet helped me to look within and to face a lot of fears, and also the breathing I was doing really made a big difference in how I felt. When you meditate, you do deep breathing, and I believe firmly, we are an oxygen-deprived society. We are a bunch of shallow breathers. We do not breathe enough. So, pay attention to how you breathe. How often do you really take a nice, cleansing, deep breath? I don't mean sigh. When we sigh, we do, that's not it. That's still a shallow breath. Really deep. Just feels so good, especially today. It's nice and crisp out here. Anyway, started doing the meditations, found out I had lupus. I was able to deal with it, cope with it, and one at a time, the drugs are gone. All the prescription drugs are gone. No more CPAP, no more wrist braces, no more ankle, whatever you call those, big boots. I just don't have to do it anymore. Now, my doctor still fussed at me. He thought I still needed the CPAP machine because of the oxygen. That is exactly why he wanted me to get on it, because when you don't sleep because of your breathing, your body's not regenerating. I was not getting enough oxygen in my sleep too. All right, let me check my time. Hold on. All right, I better stop. I'll make part 2 in a little while. I love you, and I hope it helped to hear some of this. I will make part 2 in just a few minutes. Bye.